Good morning. Hi, my name is Emily. I'm a faithful follower of Christ, and I am happy to share a couple things. I actually don't even really want to be making YouTube videos at all, other than to share, literally share what I've got going on. And if anybody out there wants to hear it or needs to hear it or could benefit from hearing it, hallelujah. But I am loving living this new carnivore lifestyle and doing all the things and adding so many more things. I made a list the other day and I thought one of these days I'm going to take my phone with me and just show all the things I'm doing lately, all these parts and pieces that are releasing dopamine in ways that I used to depend on sugar to release dopamine. But now instead I'm going from water picking to oil pulling to tracking my calories, eating twice per day, aiming to eat earlier in the day, eating before sunset. And then my husband and I have recently ordered more Keto Mojo strips to check our blood glucose in the morning and our ketones in the morning and get those ketones in the therapeutic range between 1 and 3 for weight loss and optimal metabolism. And we've also ordered CGMs to wear because we're very curious about the different effects of different foods that we have on our blood sugar. Blood sugar, insulin, and ketones. They are interwoven and interrelated, and we don't want our blood sugar up so that our body will produce insulin, because when we are producing insulin, we are not in fat burning mode, we're in fat storage mode, and we want to have healthy metabolisms that are active and going and burning like a raging fire, a burning fire. I want more muscle tone. I want more bone density for my birthday. I just had my birthday the other day, and I got my husband to help us work on a portion of our taxes. Once we get some stuff taken care of, we'll get a rebate back from the government for adopting these boys, and we can get out of some law school debt that we're still in. And that's how I see being overweight. I see being overweight as being in debt, and I'm looking forward to being out of debt. We spend more than we have to spend and get into debt. And we eat more than we can burn and get into debt. And we can get out of that debt. So Greg and I are focused. We have weight loss goals. We have goals for the scale here. There's our manual scale. I got rid of my digital scales years ago. I also treated us for our anniversary to some DEXA scans that are going to start in August, where we can go to a place in Nashville, Tennessee, and see our DEXA scans, our body fat percentage and our muscle percentage, because some of us might think, oh, I'm big boned, and no, we're not. We're just walking around carrying and we're wearing big fat suits that wouldn't we love if we could just unzip and step out of. So, you see that a gazelle or a deer is built a certain way. They all look the same because that's how their body was designed and created. And human beings are the same way. We have arms and legs and this amazingly, mind-bogglingly intricate systems. What a thing to take for granted, just to lay there and breathe in and out and take in fuel and have our bodies know just what to do with it and how to mine through what we've eaten to get what they need to function the way they're supposed to function. So we, just like a deer or a gazelle out in a field, have a body that we're supposed to be in, and we have completely distorted that and deformed that by eating things we don't need to be eating in amounts that we certainly don't need to be eating. And it's been eye-opening for us to see so many of our family and friends struggle in different ways and aim to solve problems with solutions that really are missing the mark. So many family and friends are getting their stomachs cut out and off and up, and body parts replaced, and new hips and new knees. And there's something like for every 1 pound or 3 pounds of weight we carry, that's 10 pounds of pressure on our knees. So our bodies and our skeletons were not designed to carry the weight that we're carrying. And I just look forward to being out of all sorts of debt. So that's what Greg and I are doing. And again, I really don't love making videos, but I do love sharing what God has given me, as so many out there do. We are all in this together. I could not thank a number of people enough for what they've learned and what they've shared. So having said that, I was brushing my teeth this morning thinking, you know what, I can do it. I can do it. I can figure out how to add a link and say, hey, click right here. No, don't click there. That's my scale. If you touch that, nothing will happen. I looked online and thought, Emily, you can do it. You can do it. You can become sophisticated enough to add these clickable links. And I looked online, and the guy, very nice guy, made a YouTube video about how to add those little links, like click here and click here. And he lost me at on your computer. He said, on your computer, you're going to want to, and I thought, nope, I don't even want to get my computer out of that drawer. I have got to get 3 kids to the dentist, and I'm wearing my pedometer right now. I'm aiming to get a certain amount of steps every day. I'm adding 5 a day for a year to get up to 10,000. I am highly motivated to move this body that I'm in, to walk forward, to use these arms and legs the way they were designed to be used. A friend of mine is a physical therapist, and she said she's just so amazed by the human body and how we extend and flex and the muscles and the structures. And it's really amazing, not something to be taken for granted. But I'm going to get 3 kids to the dentist. I took 2 the other day, and 2 will go on their own. So we go to the dentist in groups. And so I want to tell you that linked below is a very, very motivating video from my friend Audrey. So she created a YouTube video to share what her experience on Carnivore was like going on vacation. And she had so many different epiphanies or revelations where she just came to realize something that I always have a hard time figuring out whether to use epiphany, revelation, or realization. But either way, she was on her vacation and came to realize sort of accidentally that when she fueled up in the morning, she was good to go for a long, long time. And then she could eat again and be done. And she was comparing that with people around her and their need to continue snacking and depending on the sugar to keep them going, the carbohydrates to keep them going, because that is going to be a bit of a roller coaster as far as energy and sugar spikes and dips and spikes and dips. And we all know that when we dip, we got to spike back up. That's why they say 3 o'clock, do you need a pick me up? You need a pick me up? Do you need a boost? I was at a baseball game once and the lady said, come on over to the concession stand and get coffee or hot cocoa. Anybody need a boost? And I thought, it's that boost that we pay for because our insulin is secreted and then we come back down and we're just on an absolute roller coaster that I don't want to be on anymore. I want to be steady. And I want my blood sugar steady, which is why I'm really excited about monitoring my glucose and finding ways to keep it steady, keep it from spiking. Just what foods and what drinks. I've been enjoying some seltzer water with natural flavors, but I do wonder if they spike my sugar levels, even though they don't have any sweetener in them. But even fake sweetener with no sugar I've heard can spike our sugar levels. So I want to take the guesswork out and go ahead and have the science and the hard data behind it and be motivated by the data and the facts and be able to make wise, prudent decisions with new knowledge. And this is quite the education. So please, they will not be here. I am not going to do all that. I'm going to hit stop on this and I won't add music and I won't add much. I will add links below in the description. If you don't know how to get to the description of a video, just click on the title and then there it is. So the title of the video, if you touch that, it'll pull up the description below. I will add Audrey's video. So meet Audrey. Please send her a nice hello and a thank you for being willing to share. When we share publicly, we open ourselves up to, I don't want to say idiots and morons. I want to say people that act like idiots and morons and are probably 12-year-old kids. I don't know. I try not to interact with too many people that leave ridiculous comments because I think if I saw them in person, I would probably tell them, you need a nap. instead of something nasty over the internet. So I actually don't want to be mean to little kids. And that's what I'm assuming they are, whether they're physically, if they're actually a little kid, or just mentally a little kid. If I were in person, I'd probably be a lot nicer to them than I would be online. So anyways, when we put ourselves out there publicly, we do put ourselves out there to be, well, it's just a level of exposure that some of us are not real comfortable with, but still motivated to share, which is what I am. I'm motivated to share. So one of these days I might show you all these new things, but for now you can just know I'm over here with my pedometers and my oil pulling and my glucose monitors and my Keto Mojo, my little Keto Mojo tracker. This you actually stick yourself, and then my CGM comes in the mail. And again, down below, this thing is pretty cool. Down below, you're going to find two links. The link to Audrey's video, and also a link to a playlist I've recently made that explains a lot of this in ways that I find pretty understandable. So there's a variety of people, a variety of channels, a variety of voices to listen to. People have graphics and illustrations. And again, thank you all out there on YouTube. Thank you for sharing and sharing and sharing, because it is a wealth of information. It's so funny to think that we have to discover and learn what our ancestors instinctively knew, because they did not have the luxury of modern technology that is also quite the stumbling block. So we have outsmarted ourselves into diseased and sick bodies, and it's time to get back to some basics and move our bodies and eat lots of meat and enjoy a fun life. And that is what I'm aiming for now. I'm so motivated. On my birthday the other day, like I said, I got my husband to work on some tax stuff with me that he'd been avoiding, and I got him to help me start tearing down a shed, and I made him go to the YMCA with me, and we rejoined, because whatever city we're in, I want us to be able to pop in a gym with no excuses and do group exercise. And there's a video in my playlist that talks about emptying our muscles of the glycogen and the stored glucose and glycogen, so that like a sponge, we can wring them out and they can soak up more, because our muscles store sugar and our liver stores sugar. So we want to get this sugar out of these things, and so that they can then pull more out of our bloodstream, and we can get all that sugar out of our blood. But we had a lot of fun, went to the YMCA, and I've recently come to realize that this is no longer. I had my birthday the other day. I'm 44 years old, and the way I see it, I like to think of 45 as middle age, because I'm shooting for, to be honest, I'd like to see 115, but 90. That seems to be, anybody that's lived to a ripe old age seems to hit somewhere around 90. So I've been teasing with a friend of mine that's my age. I said, girl, we got 1 year to get it together before we are at that halfway mark. So instead of the goal being to be thin and pretty, how about stay alive for as long as possible and have the strength and energy to enjoy so much. Speaking of enjoyment, have you been to Buc-ee's? Here, this will be my thumbnail picture. I do know how to do that. I can take a picture while recording. That's as sophisticated as I get. Okay, so so much to enjoy, so much fun to be had. And when I see people struggling around me, I think they are not solving the problem with the correct solution. And if the problem is addiction, the solution is not to cut off body parts. So the solution is to understand and be aware and manage these addicted bodies we're in with some level of abstinence, and then help younger generations not to get addicted like we did, very unknowingly, very unknowingly. I consider myself an accidental addict. I had absolutely no idea that sugar was or could be addictive. And of course it is. So anyways, I'm out of here. I'm going to take 3 kids to the dentist. Please click below. Watch Audrey's video. And then check out the playlist that I have created. I think it's still called Dr. Bau's Sardine Fast, but there's 12 videos in there and it's way more than Sardine Fast. It's also about ketones and CGMs and insulin, sugar being a fire and insulin being the water hose. Thank you, Kelly Hogan, for that. But please check it out. I love you dearly, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.